trend at the moment is our food in South Africa, our heritage food. And actually, boerenkos and making it fabulous is becoming a huge trend. And I think that's also to do with a lot of Jan Hendrik's work, that which gets a lot of showcase. A boerenkos is basically our Afrikaner heritage food. So this is basically, it's affordable, mainly slow cooked food, cheaper meat cuts, and a lot of the stuff is drenched in sugar, which is not cool at the moment. So a lot of that, we're just taking that food and making it a bit more healthier and a bit more presentable and using top quality ingredients. So for example, like the very famous South African pompoen cookie, which is basically a pumpkin fritter. So it's made with pumpkin that's been roasted in the oven and then turned into a puree, and then you make a batter and then it gets deep fried, which is basically like an American donut. So what we'll do is then take the pumpkin batter and create an American style donut, and then enhance that with, let's say, game meat that's been like a kudu fillet, a game antelope fillet that's been seared and then thinly sliced and placed on top of it. And then instead of drenching it in the traditional caramel sauce that it comes with, we'll do like a salty, sweet, lemony lime and cinnamon sprinkle. For canapé hours, the live food stations and live fire cooking and food like whole rump steaks, thin cooked on fires in front of the guests and then thinly sliced and served on a beautiful little wooden plate. The thing is with live food stations is basically you pay for your menu price, but it adds to your decor, it adds entertainment value, it stimulates so many senses because it smells good, it looks good, you know, and it tastes good. So plated starters have taken a back seat at weddings and events because first of all it's a nice to have, and then we are in a struggling economy, so people are actually taking that money and spending it at the pre-dinner drinks, and that's where pre-dinner drinks have become the golden hour for weddings. The most enjoyable part. It's not the part of the wedding where the bride and groom disappears anymore. They are actually there now. So the entertainment has taken a notch up at pre-dinner drinks. The food's gone up a notch. There's a lot of live cooking, all of that. So by the time you get to the reception, you've eaten quite a lot of food. So it doesn't make sense to give somebody a plated starter and then another big main course. So the family Sunday-style feast to the table menus are the biggest trend at the moment for weddings. People don't want to spend that much on decor on the tables anymore, so the food's also becoming the decor there. So we're doing exceptional good quality food served like your mum would have served it on a Sunday to the middle of the table, but of course just on another level. The difference between a plated main course and a feast to the table main course. So imagine how you sit down at a wedding and once again they bring you the lamb shank on mash. So you don't have an option, there's no variety, and to me that's not classy. So you have to eat that lamb shank and mash unless you're a vegetarian, then you'll get some disgusting mushroom probably as well. Where opposed to when you do feast at the table, now imagine you get a beautiful leg of lamb, a whole fillet down the center of the table, still sizzling on a pink 300-degree Himalayan salt slab, beautiful roast potatoes mixed with our local waterblommetjie kimchi, a garden salad from God, you know, with beetroot and radish and this and that. And then, you know, just beautiful platters of green beans dressed with the sage butter and a tremendous amount of parmesan and roasted almonds. I mean, compare that to a lamb shank or mash in front of you, and it costs the same money. So why the hell not? It's just 10 times better. People don't really eat dessert anymore. They do, but you have to be clever around it. So I always say there's 3 steps in a wedding. So for pre-dinner drinks, keep the food as casual and comfortable as possible. Take it a notch up for reception, and for dessert, have some fun. People don't just want to see that dessert display packed out anymore and the creme brulee, you know, standing there for hours and hours and the crust has been soft after 5 minutes anyway. It's once again live food stations, more carnival-y style desserts like scoop, ice cream scoop bars, candy floss bars, that, you know, making giant balls of candy floss, ATMs dispensing cupcakes, drag queens walking around with traditional milk tarts. That's where dessert's going, you know, just having a bit of fun. Late night snacks will always remain popular, but I think there's a bit of a misconceived idea that it's this, when it comes out, that the people run for it and demolish it. Basically, what I would recommend to everybody is just do it for 50% of your guests, because I promise you, first of all, a lot of your guests have left by then, and don't serve it at midnight. Midnight, 2 a.m. is the new midnight. There's no point in taking it at 12. Nobody's going to eat it because they've had this extremely, you know, rich and gorgeous meal. When you serve a late night snack, it's served at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or while people are walking out of the venue. Otherwise, you're wasting your money.